Martin, you said something, you heard Mario Melchot a minute ago. Do you find that too many former players are too quick to round on the current boss?
That's... you know what? That's just the nature of the beast at this minute. Ex-players coming in who have never managed, who have never bothered in, and have no idea what it's like. They have an idea as a player, which should give them some sort of credence. But really, at the end of the day, they're quick to this idea that managers don't know what their best team is. Doesn't that actually there might be a semblance of something out there when you start off, when you've been given a host of players to you. But eventually, manager will go, when the chips are down, the manager will go with the players he trusts. That's the point.
So you think Potter knows his best team at this stage?
Well, wait a minute. There's players. They have a fairly sizable squad at this minute. It will take a little bit of time, but you have to. It does take time. You don't get the time. I understand that, Jim. You have to be up and running immediately, particularly with a club the size of Chelsea and their expectation. So from that viewpoint, there's a difficulty there. But this idea that ex-players coming in and they shout it from the heavens, that manager doesn't know what his best team is. He doesn't know his any formation. People talk about formations. Do you know what? Most players hardly understood formations.
Well said. Yeah. Oh, you couldn't wait to get in on that one, Simon. There's Paul, a big Chelsea fan. I'm a season ticket holder. Chelsea manager may have the name Potter, but I'll tell you what, he's no damn wizard. That is for sure. Graeme, you're coming in for it a bit this morning. We're going to hear from some Chelsea fans shortly. Potter, well aware that many Chelsea fans are on his case.
Well, after a 1-0 defeat at home, any criticism you get is understandable. I think we've had a tough period, and I think we've had lots of challenges in terms of integrating young players into the Premier League. Whilst results don't go your way, then it can be tough. That's how it is, and I'm sure there'll be people out there that will think I'm the problem. Absolutely, and I understand. I don't think they're right, but I'm not arrogant enough to say that that their opinion isn't worth articulating. My job is to help the team keep working through a tough period. We've had to make some changes today, so the truth is we took a step back in our performance in the first half. The response in the second half was good, but it wasn't good enough.
So that was Graeme Potter post-match. 03717 223344. Martin O'Neill is alongside Simon and myself this morning. John, you're a big Chelsea fan. Do you fear the worst here for Potter?
I fear the worst for Chelsea, not for Potter. I fear worse for the entire club, because I've been a Chelsea fan all my life. I remember Bobby Campbell, Ian Porterfield, before Glenn Hoddle came and the rest of them. This is the worst I've ever seen it. 2 wins in 15, 4 goals in 10. We are Chelsea Football Club. We won the Champions League 2 years ago. And Graeme Potter's comments after the game, honestly, are just beyond belief. But they were stable and I think he said stable and organised side. Stable, Jesse Mars turned the job down, or it was not given to him, on Thursday afternoon. How are they stable and settled? I've had enough of the excuses now. Graeme Potter may well be a good manager. He's not a good enough manager for this Chelsea squad in this current climate. It's as simple as that.
So you want him out, John? And now is the time to part company with him, in your view?
I don't want him out, but I think he needs to be. A bit more angry. He needs to show something, because we're all looking at him, always thinking, like, can you do something?
He's not going to. John, he's not. Simon, he's not going to change the way he does it, is he?
Yeah, I mean, this is the worst Chelsea side you've watched. How long have you been around? This team was in the second division 30 years ago. What are you on about?
100%. But then players showed that they cared. Players like Dixon, Bumstead, Speedy.
Yeah, they cared enough to get you relegated into the second division. Great. Your side's going through a funk at this moment in time. Change of ownership. 8 months ago, you were worried about the existence of your club, right? Because ultimately you had an owner that was being sanctioned by the world and by this country and its government. You've got a new owner in. He's gone mad with spending finances. You've got a new manager in. The manager's been there for 4 months, right? And of that 4 months, 6 weeks he's been away in the World Cup. So you've got a dysfunctional set of circumstances with a club that's changing a complete ownership model, removed the entire intellectual capital behind the scenes of the football structure of Chelsea, put a new one in. Gone absolutely crazy with buying every single player that's available at top-end money, and a new manager that everybody knew was stepping up. So why doesn't somebody let him get his head?
Simon, you knew that. I remember you said on this show, when he was appointed...
It's a big step up.
Remember, last season, At Brighton, he won one game in 17 and literally they got the points they needed earlier than that. You said that.
So your ira is at the appointment by Todd Bowley, because I accept the argument that it's a huge step up, and I accept the argument that I made at the beginning, and I maintain my view that he will not lead Chelsea to the Holy Grail. But after 4 months of a club ownership that's very different from the Chelsea have even experienced under Abramovich, and all the conundrums that go around that, I think this guy has to be given. And this style of management on the touchline and in the media, oh, come on, mate. Who cares what gallery you play to? You don't need people to be Mr. Angry on the side of a touchline waving down planes. You need him to communicate with the players. And if after a period of time, and I think it's this season, Chelsea haven't got any sort of identity under Potter, then I'm all for saying, OK, you had a fair crack, a year's a fair crack, you don't get another one.
Finish it off for us, John. Take us to the break. What do you want to say to what Simon said?
Yeah, no, what Simon's saying is correct, and I'm not disputing that for a second. I don't want anyone to lose their job. I don't want Potter to lose his job. But at the end of the day, something needs to give soon, because at the moment, this is relegation form. And like I say, 2 years ago, we were champions of Europe. Something's got to give one way or another. OK,
John, listen, thanks for the call. Feelings running high, Martin, not unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
Very emotional Chelsea fans.
Yeah, but if you beat Dortmund, you're in the final, you're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.